What's going on, guys? I hope you are having a fantastic day. I just got back from the gym, so I'm feeling good. And it is Pokemon Mystery Mail Day number 106. It is crazy to think that we've got over 100 of these mail day videos. I am trying not to show my address to everybody on the internet. Let's go ahead and get this guy opened up. Now, most of you that have been following the channel probably have a good idea of what's going to be in this box. Okay. Trying to do this. Okay. I think it's not, yeah, it's not upside down. All right. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. It is a Gold Star Flareon, and it is absolutely beautiful. Right off eBay. Now, I can't remember who sold me this one, but I know that I was super picky about it and definitely contemplating waiting for a better price. So I ended up picking up this Gold Star Flareon for a whopping $750. Now, I did use the vault, so that was able to save me a little bit of money. So luckily, if you are going to buy higher end cards, you should definitely use the eBay vault. I know a lot of people are worried about using the vault, but I highly recommend it because it's going to save you some money on taxes in the long run. Let's go ahead and break this guy out. The tamper, the voided seal. Okay, so, all right, let's go ahead and take a dive into this guy. So if I remember correctly, this was this person's like first set of submissions. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I mean, it's definitely a 9. It's definitely a strong 9. It's very, very clean. It does have one corner that's got a little stuff on it. The front is really my main concern. The front's usually always my main concern, but the back tells, a different story. But the front looks absolutely phenomenal. I don't see any swirls of any kind on this card. That's something that I always want to look for with these Cosmos Holo cards. But the front looks pretty dang good. It's pretty well centered. I don't see any surface scratches on the card at all. This is the great thing about buying 9s. A lot of the time they're pretty high quality, especially with vintage. I think they're a lot tougher at PSA on vintage than they are with modern. But as you guys can see, this is probably, one of the higher pop cards in terms of the Gold Stars. I believe there's over 360 of these in a 9, so by no means is this a low pop card. There are plenty of these out there, and that's also why I contemplated. Ooh, so there's a nice. I've been getting a lot of Gold Stars with triple orbs lately. See if we can get that to show on the camera. It's kind of hard get it to show on the camera, but it's right there. You guys might be able to see that right there. There's definitely a really, really nice triple orb. Yeah, there it is. There's a really nice triple orb on this card. No swirl, but it's okay. But yeah, as far as Gold Stars go, a lot of Gold Stars are in the, 200, sub 200 area in terms of their population in a PSA 9. And there are some exceptions to that. The Reggies, I think, are a little higher on the pop reports. I know that the EV Evolutions are a little bit higher on the pop reports. And looks like the slab got a little bit scuffed, but that's okay. That was probably PSA's doing, or maybe eBay, but you guys probably are. I'm not even going to be able to show that on the screen. Oh, there it is. There it is. We got a little scuff on the slab. It's okay. I've got some plastics, some plastics restoration stuff. I'm going to end up trying to just buff that out. Yeah, that's definitely not the card, luckily. But yeah, this card in particular, I can't speak for all of the EV Evolutions. I didn't look at the pop reports for Jolteon, or Vaporeon, and of course Espeon and Umbreon are way, way lower pop reports as far as the Gold Stars go. But I believe there's 360-ish of these Flareon in a PSA 9, and by no means is that low pop. I think low pop these days is really anything under 100, but I would say with how many cards are out there in the world, I would say low pop is really probably sub 200. So 360 is not by any means low pop, but it's still an important card. I am trying to complete all of the gold stars. That's one of my biggest goals for collecting in 2024, is chasing after all of the gold star cards. That is going to be a goal that is very difficult to accomplish, both financially and just supply-wise. There are not a lot of these cards out there in existence. And there sure aren't a lot of them getting graded. You rarely see these freshly popping up that are getting graded. And if you do, it's usually the less sought after cards in the gold star set. But interestingly enough, in a PSA 10, this card really substantially drops. I do believe this card is sub 100 pop in a PSA 10. And then because we have been talking about PSA 1s lately, I do feel like it's important to note that the PSA 1 population of Flareon, I believe, is 31. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The pops were, in the hundreds or close to the hundreds, pretty much in every other grade. And then pop 1 super low and pop 10 super low. So that's definitely a weird little phenomenon. I think I can see a swirl, but the problem with cards like these, as far as the gold stars go, one of the issues with these that kind of takes away from the beauty and makes it maybe one of the less stunning cards in the set is just the fact that the actual picture of Flareon on here, he is taking up most of that hollow box. So you're really not seeing a whole lot of hollow action, which makes the card a little bit lackluster in comparison to the other gold stars. But I am happy to have this one crossed off the list. I'm going to clean up this slab and go ahead and throw it in with the rest of my gold stars. And I believe there's 27. There's 27 gold stars. Oh, man. Okay, there's 27 gold stars. And we've got our stack right here of all the gold stars. So we've got Flareon, Entei, Suicune. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We are at a point now where we are 11 cards. Nearly 10 cards, but we're at 11 cards away from completing the gold star set in PSA 9. I know my Alakazam is a 7. I picked that one up out of a collection for $60. A buddy of mine graded it for me. So I just don't think I'm probably ever going to upgrade that card because of the story that's associated with it. It was just a really cool, thrifted find. But we've got 11 left. Mewtwo, Mew, Espeon, Umbreon, Vaporeon. That's 5 right there. I need Gold Star Charizard. That's 6. And I'm having a hard time. Oh, the Hoenn region trio. So we've got Mudkip, Torchic, and Trico. So that makes 9 right there. And I'm still missing 2 others, but I'm having a hard time off the top of my head. It's really hard to think about what else I'm missing. I pretty much know these off the top of my head now. But okay, I'm missing a handful of these cards left. Some of them are still really expensive. I'm sure it is, it's something that I'm probably gonna have to wait on. It might even take longer than 2024 to complete this goal. It is an insane goal to try and complete, but it's very compressed. It's very concise. I'm very focused on what I'm trying to go after here. So I feel like that's an easier goal in the long run than trying to complete a ton of different sets in Pokemon, which I am going to get back to. And speaking of that, I wanted to get this mail video done today so that I could finally take a look at this Flareon, which is, and we're going to look at the back here in a second. But tomorrow, time pending, if I have enough time, we're going to go over all of the binders that I have in my collection. We're going to go over all of my WotC binders. We're going to go over all of my vintage binders. We're going to look at all the missing spaces that I have left. We're going to look at all the cards that I still need. And then we're going to look at modern. I have no idea how I'm going to fit this in. It might be 2 separate videos. Like I might do vintage in one video and then modern in another video because I've got a stack of binders there and I've got a stack of binders in my closet. So I'm not sure I'm going to get to that, but you have been asking for that and I am going to deliver. I also feel like that's a very fun little video to have everyone included in on my journey and my collection goals and where we're at right now progress-wise. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the back of this Flareon. You know, it's tough. You know, grading is super subjective. It's really tough to say if this, you know, was a worthy 9. I think this card probably could have gotten an 8, but at the same time, I'm looking at it real hard here. I don't see any kind of denting, which is a big deal for me. If I ever see denting on a card, that's a big turnoff as far as buying graded slabbed cards. That's a big turnoff for me. But those scuffs seems like I can almost wipe them away with my fingers, so that's good. I'm checking the back here. It doesn't look like there's any denting on this card. That's something that I'm very concerned with. A lot of my friends that have been buying higher end cards lately, little dents and minor creases have been an issue with a lot of the cards lately. So that's something that I really, really want to look out for and put this in harsh lighting and really look it over good. And so far, so good. No dents. But yeah, you guys are about to see. We're going to look this guy over. So this corner looks pretty good. Very, very little whitening. This corner, you can see that whitening peering out a little bit more. But I mean, I'm extremely picky. So, you know, I think most people are going to look at this card and be like, Ryan, that's a super clean 9. Like, what are you even talking about? With the harsh lighting, you can see the actual surface of the card. You can see, you know, the little, you know, any little defects in the actual card itself. And you can see that across the board, this is an old card, right? It's 20 years old. So we've got to give it that, you know, it's been recently graded. So it has been out, you know, of the capsule for a long time and only recently graded and encapsulated. So I would expect some wear, but overall, maybe this was a binder copy. It looks pretty clean to me. I don't really see any whitening on the edges. The main concern I have with this card are these corners up here. Now you can see this corner clear as day, but I'm going to tell you right now, as far as, you know, buying graded 9s for gold stars, as long as, you know, the card is just a little bit of whitening and a little bit of edge wear, I'm okay with that. I would much rather that than have some kind of ding or dent. This corner looks pretty good. Very, very minor whitening, basically from when they cut the card. I don't see anything really there, but this corner is definitely more obvious. And I would say almost maybe even enough to knock it down a whole grade. But they gave it a 9, and I fully respect the fact that they gave this card a 9. It's still super clean, and yeah, I'm happy with it. This isn't a card that I'm like looking at and like, oh God, I got God on this card. I feel really good about this one. Could I have gotten a slightly better deal, right? Could I have probably picked this card up for around 650? Maybe the low 600s. I think it's possible. I think especially if you're working private deals, I think people might look on eBay and say otherwise, but eBay is not the end all, you know, determining factor as far as, you know, card values. You can look at eBay and see some pretty, you know, high priced cards, and then you can find those same cards in private groups on Facebook. That's what a lot of, you know, my friends that are, you know, very serious collectors, they're collecting on Facebook groups. They're working with people doing private deals. That's something that I'm not as comfortable to do. So I would rather buy off of eBay, have the cards authenticated, and just go through that whole process. And so far, I've been rewarded. I really like a lot of the cards I've gotten out of eBay. I'm very happy with most of them. Some of them arguably are the nicest cards that I have that I've picked up off eBay. So especially like my Groudon is one of those. My Groudon is a super clean copy. My Kyogre is a super clean copy. This one has a swirl. So these, you know, some of the cards I picked up off eBay, I paid a little premium for, but they're super, super nice. This Latias is another great example. It's a super clean copy of Latias. These are super hard to find. But yeah, for today, we got our Flareon, and we can put Flareon now next to Jolteon. And Jolteon has a really gnarly swirl. But now we can put these two guys together. You know, this is the the EV Evolution family of gold stars. So, and you know, I am definitely a fan of the EV Evolution gold stars. I think they might even be a little bit undervalued, but the pops are a good bit higher. So, you know, that's probably justified on what their price is right now. But it'll be interesting to see how these hold up. Is the gold star market, are Grail cards going to tank like all the alt arts, like all the cards in Modern? Am I in just as big of a risky situation as a lot of people collecting tons of alt arts right now, or not right now, because right now maybe even a great price to buy alt arts, but I'm speaking more towards, you know, the past, people buying alt arts during the Pokemon pandemic, during the boom, you know, when card prices were way higher for alt arts. So it'll be interesting to see if gold stars go with that trend, or if the low pops are enough to keep these cards, you know, the scarcity of these cards, is that enough to keep their values where they need to be? And that's very important to me. Retaining value in my collection is very important to me. I know a big part of collecting is just enjoying it and collecting cards that you love. But for me, I do have a family. It's very important for me that the values line up, and that if anything were to happen and I had an emergency, I could liquidate everything, get all that equity back out, and I'd be fine. It would be a terrible experience to liquidate cards and take a major loss. I would hate to have to go through that, and hopefully I won't ever have to. But yeah, that's Mystery Mail Day number 106. We'll take one last look at this gold star. What's my favorite thing about this gold star, if somebody were to ask? I would say the complementary effect of having that blue and the yellow of the Flareon, the orange and yellow of the Flareon with that blue. It looks really good together. And then the grass with the sky. I mean, this is honestly, it's beautiful. There were some, mentions of gold stars were the first kind of alt arts we ever had. And I don't know if I would, go that far to say that gold stars were the first alt arts we ever had. But it is cool, the foot coming out of the picture frame, the fiery tail coming out of the picture frame. It's pretty cool. And just the image, in its essence of, Flareon wandering the meadows with that massive, sky behind it. It's an awesome looking card. And I'm very fortunate to have this card in my collection and be sharing it with you guys. These are some of my favorite videos. They're not my most informative videos, where I get to talk about the market and so forth, but I will still be collecting. I will still have mail day videos. That's something that's always going to be on the channel, whether it be a modern alt art or gold stars. I think early on in this channel, you're going to see probably nicer cards than later on in the channel. I think right now I'm trying to spearhead all of these cards that I really want to go after and kind of get it over with, almost. Like, just collect them, have them in my collection, and then boom, it's done. One of my ultimate goals, again, is to be able to say that I have every single gold star and a PSA 9 or better. I know I won't be able to fully hold up to that with the Alakazam, but who knows? Maybe I pick up another Alakazam and I sell mine as a 7, but I am definitely sentimental with that card. But anyways, that's a wrap, guys. Let me know what your favorite thing is about the Flareon Gold Star. If you like it, if you don't like it, let me know why you don't like this card. It could be, that it just takes up so much space, that there's not a lot of hollow pattern actually showing on the card. That's definitely something that I would agree with. But yeah, let me know what y'all's thoughts are on Flareon. I wish that triple orb showed a little bit better, but it's well centered. It looks pretty good. We've got that 1 weak corner, but otherwise it's a super clean card. Very happy to add this to the collection. And yeah, one more gold star crossed off the list. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow or the next day, depending on my work schedule. I will catch you guys on the flippity flop and we will get that binder video done. Forewarning, my collecting skills are not where they are now, right? When I first got into the hobby, I was collecting a lot of okay condition cards, but it's whatever. I'm going to show you guys everything that I got in the next video, either tomorrow or next day. Anyways, peace out, guys. Have a fantastic day. And then next live on Wednesday, we should have all of the 151 product in, and then we can start ripping some 151 once again to complete that set. All right. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.